are officially 0%.
Oh my god.
KRZLE.
Yeah. Charles. Yeah.
Burt Reynolds pulls out a banana and
Yes,
starts
that's where I was
peeling it.
going.
Butterfly kisses.
Oh my god. Hey, fuck these drums.
The synopsis just isn't good. Oh my god. Okay. And on that note.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of What Was That Called Again? My name's Thomas.
I am Itchy Eye Will.
Wow. This is a movie podcast where I have selected 3 movies, and I will read their IMDb plot descriptions to Will, who will then have to try to match the plot descriptions with the correct titles.
Once again.
And if he gets any of them wrong, he has to continue living in America for the next several years.
Yeah, this is just a few days after Election Day, so we're going to try to keep it light and fun and happy and movie-focused.
Yeah. Woo! Because the best way to escape reality is
to
through
deny it.
cinema. You're right.
Yeah, that too.
Sorry. We can slip and slide our way directly into a nice, wet drink check.
Oh, gosh.
Woo!
Wet drink. Did you spill it? Did you get it all over you? You go ahead and go first with your wet drink check.
Yeah. So this week, I already had 24 fantastic ounces of a yummy coffee.
Okay.
And we talked for an hour plus prior to this recording, and so I finished that. And so just before we hit record, I poured myself a delicious glass of Guinness beer into my What Was That Called Again branded official glass of the podcast.
Available for purchase anywhere where you can get it made.
Anywhere where you can make one. Correct. What are you working on over there?
Well, yeah, an hour ago I chugged, because I was in a hurry to get recording at the time. I chugged like 8 ounces of white wine because I wanted to start the recording with a freshly made glass of lemonade. And I, of course, spiked it with rum, but this time I chose a dark rum, so it's a dirty lemonade.
Ew.
It looks very murky and off like a slightly...
Gosh.
Yeah.
It looks like pond water.
It's good. I like it. But definitely,
that's what counts.
Definitely, it's a dirty water looking liquid.
And what are you drinking that in?
I'm also drinking it out of my what was that called again? Officially licensed merchandise.
You're goddamn right you are.
Not available anywhere.
Woo! Yep, unless you can copy our thumbnail and get it printed onto a glass, then you can get it anywhere.
You can make them wherever you want to.
It's simultaneously available nowhere and anywhere.
That's right.
So I will say a little, maybe a subtle teaser.
You're going to tease it already?
Maybe just a subtle teaser.
Okay.
A subtle teaser.
Don't tease details or specifics.
There won't be. No.
Okay.
But we, for the hour and change that we talked prior to this recording,
we're both moving to Canada.
We are both getting visas, and he's going to Canada. I'm going to New Zealand.
Oh, that's a better choice. Yeah.
But no, we actually have an idea. So there may be new things on the horizon. Potentially. Potentially. So we will see. Don't hold your breath, anybody out there. But
new things as in, just for a little bit more than that vague idea, new things as in, along with, what was that called again? We are thinking about adding a new format to the stream. So not a separate feed.
Yes.
And it also...
Same feed, a separate entity.
Yes.
Separate from what was that called again? A different thing. It
will also be sporadic. So don't hold us to any certain schedule.
That's correct.
That was part of the hour-long discussion. So for year 2, we're adding a second possible thing.
Possibly, yes.
Possible thing, yes.
That's correct. So yeah, we discussed that. Exciting idea in our opinions, and our opinions are the only ones that count because we make up 50 to 80% of the listener base. And so I was just telling Will actually that so last time we recorded, at the time of this recording, was last weekend.
Yeah, right before
and
Election
so
Day.
last weekend I had 2 different episodes worth of notes ready to go. We recorded
Correct.
one of them,
Yes.
which you, as a listener, would have heard last week.
That's right.
And so the second episode worth of notes is what I planned on using this week.
I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to do it.
I woke up today.
Oh,
and I thought, all right, well, let's type up notes for episode number 2 that we might record tonight. And sure enough, the second episode that I had picked for last week is gone.
Oh,
I don't know what happened to it. I watched a movie that was on that episode that we were going to record. I own and watched a movie, and I was excited to talk about it because it was a very good movie. And I guess now we're going to have to put that on the back burner because that episode worth of notes, that episode worth of notes is gone. And I don't remember what 2 movies I picked to go with it. So I'll have to figure out what those were or pick different movies altogether. So that's really frustrating.
Well, that was exciting to begin with, and now we're just kind of let down, almost like the blue ball of the podcast here.
That's correct. So instead, we have 3 inferior films that we're going to be going over here.
Starting off high, expectations are set.
No, I did pick. I have 2 episodes ready to go whenever we are good to record them. I will make sure they don't disappear magically. Yep. I blame Apple. So our first episode that we have ready to record here today, I'm going to be going in chronological order of release. And we are going to be kicking off in the year 1973.
73, okay.
Yes, and your first synopsis, as written on IMDb, reads as follows. During the 1570s, in the convent of St. Arcangelo di Biana...
Okay, I got that.
After the death of the Mother Superior, a power struggle rages on, as one nun who comes from a powerful family is willing to do anything to become the new abbess.
Ooh. Okay. Definitely does not sound familiar at all. 73, and the film is set in 1570s?
70s.
And this takes place at the Covenant of something?
At the convent of St. Arcangelo di Biana.
Okay, we're gonna call it Covenant of Saint D'Angelo, and
that's fine. Yeah,
you said that there's a power struggle between 2 nuns.
Yes, after the death of the Mother Superior, a power struggle rages on as one nun who comes from a powerful family is willing to do anything to become the new abbess.
So Mother Superior dies at this convent of D'Angelo, I think, and then there's a power struggle between the nuns, and one of the nuns who comes from a wealthy family is willing to do a powerful family. Well, same thing. It's
right.
Yeah. I doubt they have supernatural powers, but maybe you're right. But this one specific nun is willing to do anything to do what? Not to basically become Mother Superior?
Yeah, to become the new abbess, as it's stated.
Okay, I don't know what that is. Is it a band from Sweden? Okay.
ABBESS.
Okay. I think I got the gist of that. There's it's a long time ago, 1570s. There's a convent. Mother Superior dies. One of the nuns from a wealthy family is willing to do anything to become the next abbess, whatever that is. I'm going to assume Mother Superior. Okay, interesting. It sounds very religious, but also sounds slightly sinful. With the whole power, maybe some greed there.
Cha-ching.
Selfishness. Okay. Yeah, I mean, envy, possibly. Power.
Possibly.
And I like the idea that it's set in 1570s. That's really, for a film that was made in 1973. Either I have seen this. I mean, is this a horror film? No.
So these nuns are all like hairy and their teeth are falling out of their heads.
Oh, God.
And they're all gross because they don't have showers or anything.
I mean, maybe, right? It's 15. I don't know what technology was around in 1570. I'm not that educated. Okay. I don't have anything else to really add to that because I definitely have not heard of this movie. I don't know if I'm even really familiar with too many like nun-based films, or you know, I mean, like I said, I know a couple like older horror films. I don't know the dates of those. They were foreign films, and there were nuns involved in some manner. I don't think this fits any of the ones that I've seen, at least, or that I remember. And this doesn't see, I mean, you said that she's willing to do anything, so that could be murder.
Anything.
Yeah.
Could be murder.
I mean, it could even be like, I mean, if we really wanted to push anything in just spiritual based films, I mean, it could be as far as like maybe even like selling her soul to the devil. Maybe, I mean, we could go that far possibly. If anything,
interesting take for a nun to do. Yeah.
I mean, she did say anything.
That's true.
And if it's all about power, that'd be kind of fascinating. If you know, she's like, you know, in cahoots with the devil, and she's like, you know what, I could wish for anything. I mean, I guess the devil's not really a genie, so I guess maybe that's not how that works. But let's assume that that's how that works for the sake of this argument.
5,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. But it's the devil, though.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that, you know, to sell your soul potentially, in my imagining of this movie I've never seen, it would be interesting if that was the case, and then, you know, to reign supreme over this convent. Wow. But would she go that far? But it does say willing to do anything. So how far is she going to go in the actual movie?
Then in that rationale, then yeah, technically she would be willing to do that because she's willing to do anything.
Yeah. So again,
she'll do a handstand and poop at the same time.
Oh God!
That's what it takes.
Could you? That's like the one thing that none of the other nuns are willing to do. That'd be hilarious. That'd be funny. So yeah, from the synopsis, this doesn't seem like a horror film, but then there is that little bit of willing to do anything and from a powerful family. So maybe it is.
Yeah, doesn't sound like a horror film, but there's a little wink. There's a little wink
because
there.
Like, I didn't want to go as far as like nunsploitation. I don't know if this is even close to that, just based off of the synopsis. And those are pretty much the only like nun-related movies that I know of. So I definitely don't think I've ever seen or heard this movie before.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm ready to move on. Maybe there's more nuns in store.
Never know until in a few minutes.
In just a few seconds from now, if we fast forward, we'll know.
Your second title is also going to come from the year 1973.
Okay.
And your synopsis for it reads as follows. Refusing an arranged marriage, young aristocrat Carmela is sent to a convent. Her arrival intensifies the power struggle between the debauched nun Elizabeth and the stern but evil Mother Superior, as both are smitten by Carmela's beauty.
Ooh, okay. So this does sound a little familiar. I mean, only because, I mean, I don't know. Really, I don't know why it sounds a little familiar. I don't know if it's like the Carmela's ringing bells, maybe.
This, in my opinion, this almost sounds like the first movie, but from a different perspective.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Is I said that this sounds familiar, and then I was about ready to backtrack that by saying it actually kind of sounds like the other film. And the fact that it's from the same year.
Yeah.
Again, I just don't know the movies that I have seen that involve nuns, and they're from, I mean, they might have been from the 70s. I don't know what years. But the only reason that this one maybe rang a little bit more of a bell, or any bell at all, than the first one is, like I said, maybe the Carmela thing. I don't know if I'm just like pulling that from somewhere else. Sopranos, maybe. The other thing that rang a bell, or maybe, I don't know, slightly, was the whole her Carmela, this character, going to a convent where there's an evil Mother Superior. Like, that's the part of this that, like, it's like, maybe I have seen something like that before. Can you read this one to me one more time in full, though? Just so I got it all.
Yeah. Refusing an arranged marriage, young aristocrat Carmela is sent to a convent. Her arrival intensifies the power struggle between the debauched nun Elizabeth and the stern but evil Mother Superior, as both are smitten by Carmela's beauty.
Okay. So, refusing to accept an arranged marriage. Carmela is sent to a convent.
Yep.
Where did you say deranged? Debauched. Debauched.
Correct. Debauched. Yeah.
Debauched nun and an evil mother superior. And then what was the end of this?
Yeah. So Carmela's arrival intensifies the power struggle between the debauched nun Elizabeth and the stern but evil mother superior, as both are smitten by Carmela's beauty.
Interesting. Okay, so the debauched nun and the evil mother superior are already at odds with each other. And then this Carmela comes in after turning down an arranged marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And her arrival, because of Carmela's beauty, causes this rift between evil mother superior and debauched nun to grow, to intensify. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
okay,
they both want to hit that.
A little, I guess, backstory. There was a movie, I don't know if we've talked about this on this show or not, but there was a movie that I watched in horror history class in film school that I did somewhat enjoy, but I forgot the name of it almost immediately. And it was, I'm pretty sure, an Italian film. There were nuns involved. But one of the visceral moments of it, as I am known to more readily remember, is the visual part of it. And there was a scene, there were nuns, there was a castle-y church-looking place, and the nuns put this very beautiful woman who came in, I can't remember if she was already a nun or not, but anyway, they put her in a pool, a bath of blood. And I forgot this title, and I tried to tell Thomas this title years ago, and we couldn't remember the title, and I couldn't find it on IMDb because I didn't have enough information. And then randomly, Thomas and I went to Austin, Texas to I Love, was it I Love Video?
I Love Video, yep.
An amazing place if anyone loves video. And we were just searching through the thousands and thousands of VHS films and randomly stumbled upon this movie that I had been searching for several years before then. And I took a picture of it, thankfully, and I still can't remember what it's called. So if you say that title, I still don't know that I'll be able to bring that one up. But I do know that there were nuns involved. I think it was from the 70s. And usually these films were Italian at the time because there was this whole Catholic thing that they were playing on. So I don't know if that's what you're doing for this episode or not. But I'm curious. I think I have the second film memorized. Like I said, it rang a little bit of a bell. I like the battle that's already going on, and then it being intensified by this beautiful woman, but I don't know anything else. So I think I'm ready for the third film.
Okay. Your third film is going to be from the year 2021.
Oh, very recent. Okay.
Yeah. And the synopsis for it reads as follows. A 17th century nun in Italy suffers from disturbing religious and erotic visions.
Ooh.
She is assisted by a companion, and the relationship between the two women develops into a romantic love affair.
Ooh, okay. What year was this against? 2020?
21.
So a 17th century nun who is she already a nun, you said? She was already a nun.
Yes.
She's struggling with many things, one of which is sexual fantasies.
Yes, she suffers from disturbing religious and erotic visions.
Oh, she suffers from disturbing. Okay.
Yeah. And
so
then
she's not struggling, she's actually suffering.
She is assisted by a companion, and the relationship between the two women develops into a romantic love affair.
It doesn't say that the companion's a sister, does it? It just says that it's a companion.
It does not state that, no.
And this companion assists her with this struggle of it was struggling with what again? Something religious and sexual?
She is suffering from disturbing religious and erotic visions.
Suffering. Okay.
Yes.
Disturbing visions and erotic imagery. Okay. Or something like that.
Disturbing religious and erotic visions.
I don't know why this one's so hard for me to focus on. Okay. Companion helps her, and then basically her and her companion end up falling in love.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, let me try desperately true. I don't know why that one was so hard to remember. That does not sound familiar. 2021, very recent. Yeah, I don't know what that could be. I'm going through like my very poor memory banks and trying to think if anything comes up that's a fairly recent-ish, like Nun, but also maybe some lesbian connotation here, maybe. Like there may be one, I don't know the film. I only know one of the actors that is in the film. Mm-hmm. And I remember she was dressed as a nun. And the types of films she does usually have an erotic context to them. But they're usually also actual horror films, like really schlocky horror films. That's the only thing I can think of, and I don't even know the title of that. So I don't think I have anything for the 2021 film. Okay, so let me try to recall all of these. The first film, 1973. This one was set in the 1570s, and it was because there's two films from 1973. Let's see. The first one was the 1570s, and
yes,
this one was something about there being a mother superior who died at some convent.
Yes,
and there was a power struggle.
Yep.
One of the nuns came from a powerful family, and she is willing to do anything to become the head, whatever the word was.
Correct.
Okay. The second film, also from 1973. This one is the one that was about Carmela and the arranged marriage that she refused to be a part of. She is was it her aristocratic family or something like that? Her wealthy family? Nothing?
No, it was just she was sent to a convent.
I didn't know if there was actually a group of people who sent her. Okay, so she was just sent to this convent. And at this convent, there is already a rift between a debauched nun and an evil mother superior. And that is made even worse upon Camilla's arrival because of how beautiful she is.
Correct.
Okay. So then the last film was 2021. And this is it was set in the 17th century, I do believe you said.
That's correct.
And a nun suffers from some kind of horrible religious visions and sexual something.
Yeah, she suffers from disturbing religious and erotic visions.
Okay, that was the word. Disturbing religious and erotic visions. Okay. And her companion helps her with this struggle, suffering. And along the way, essentially her and her companion fall in love.
Right.
Or form a relationship. Okay. Like I said, again, the only one that sort of sounds familiar is that second 1973 film with Carmela and the evil Mother Superior. But even that, I guess, upon me, that second time of me talking about it, it didn't ring as loudly as it did whenever you said it. So I don't know if I know that one at all either. I don't think I've seen any of these. They're all clearly have a nun involved. They all also seem to be set in the past. Even the modern film, which is interesting. And they all seem to deal with a nun or nuns flirting with or struggling with sins of their own.
Yeah.
So I like this. Okay. I think I'm ready for the titles. The first one.
All right. First title to go off of is going to be Sister Act.
That would be amazing.
No, just kidding, of course. Your first title to go off of is going to be Benedetta.
Benedetta. Ooh.
Yes. Benedetta.
Benedetta. Oh, I mean, that could be any of these. There's absolutely no reason why it could not be. I don't even know where to place this.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds silly enough, and it really could be an actual name, I guess. But to me, the ignorant that I am, it sounds silly enough that this maybe could be the 2021 film. Why? I don't know. So I guess I'll have to shelve that one until I hear the other two.
Okay, your second title is going to be Story of a Cloistered Nun.
Okay, I changed my mind on the 2021 title. The Story of a Cloistered Nun?
Yep, Of
the Cloistered Nun.
No, the.
Oh, Story of Cloistered Nun.
Story of a Cloistered Nun.
Hey, okay, there's the title. Story of a Cloistered Nun.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that one also feels like 2021 just because it's wordy. Cloistered? I don't know if we're using the word cloistered in a title in 1973. But again, maybe it's like a weird translation thing if one of these is a foreign film. Cloistered. I don't know if the first 1973 film has a cloistered nun, if I am remembering the definition of cloistered correctly. Could you use cloistered in a sentence? I haven't used that lifeline. Go ahead, who again?
I was hoping dictionary.com would have a sentence. Said definition of cloistered, noun, a covered walk, especially in a religious institution, having an open arcade or colonnade, usually opening into a courtyard.
Yeah, okay, that helped me so much. Okay, so it's just it's a type
to
of
confine in a monastery or convent.
Right. So I was picturing something like
seclude.
Yeah, like that Titan walk. You know, you cloistered your. That's kind of what I was thinking. You're gathered. You're not exposing yourself. You're kind of insular in your walk and in your mannerisms. Yeah, so what I was going to say is I don't know if the first 1973 film, I don't feel like that one has a cloistered nun in it. Just because I feel like this nun who's from a powerful family, who's willing to do anything, I don't know if cloistered is her style. It could be talking about someone else, I guess, but I don't think that really fits. Whereas the other two films, possibly, I could see, again, the 2021 film, this nun who is struggling with these religious and sexual visions, these disturbing visions. Maybe she's trying to hide that. And her opening up is why she falls for her companion, maybe?
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. Yeah, so, I mean, Benedetta and the Story of a Cloistered Nun. Yeah, neither of those have a home yet. So I'm going to need the third title.
Yeah, your third title to go off of is going to be The Nun and the Devil.
Ooh, okay. Now we finally have a title where I'm like, I like that. I like that title a lot. It's simple. It's right there. And I've already flirted with the idea that the nun who is willing to do anything possibly sold her soul to the devil to gain that power. But I mean, that could be a trap that I just happened to fell into because of my random logic. I don't think... I mean, you did say that there's an evil mother superior in the second film.
Yeah.
But I feel like... Sorry, this is The Nun and the Devil?
Correct.
So I don't know if the nun... Because... I don't know if the second 1973 film would be from the perspective of a nun. The Nun and the Devil. Well, but it could be from... Was it Carmela, right? That was the character's name. It could be from her perspective, and she's looking at this debauched... Was it debauched? Nun and the evil Mother Superior, and she's calling them the Nun and the Devil, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't think it's the 2021 film at all.
Oh.
Just because even though she's having disturbing religious visions and disturbing sexual visions, I don't know if that's necessarily gonna be linked to the devil. I mean, maybe you could. I mean, these are all religious films, so you could link any kind of sinful ways or thoughts or whatever to the devil. And in the first film, like I said, I already kind of got myself thinking that maybe she was willing to do anything, and that included selling her soul to the devil. So do I stick with that? I randomly came up with that.
That was before you heard the other two.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I also don't want to fall into my own trap that I've set. Okay. So I'm going to temporarily
trapped in a circle of logic.
Yeah. Well, that's my life though. That's
cannot
that's every
choose
day.
If he goes against his original thought, or if he sticks with it, despite having said it before he heard the other titles.
And it was truly an original thought because we were at first going with, murder. She's just willing to murder, but maybe
Moida.
And then I added on the idea of, well, maybe she's actually willing to sell her soul to the devil. So for now, I'm going to set the Nun and the Devil on the first 1973 film. But that means where does Benedetta?
Yes.
Benedetta and what was the second title? The Nun and a
Story of a Cloistered Nun.
That's right, the Story of a Cloistered Nun. Where did those go? Okay. Man. So here's where I'm at too, is because the 2021 film, even though I said it initially, I do believe, I don't now know if the Story of a Cloistered Nun goes with 2021. I think it's too wordy. I think it has the word cloistered in it. I don't know if we're going to use that in 2021 in a title.
Didn't you initially say you don't know if they're going to use that word in 1973?
I did. That's what I'm saying. I'm going against that. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm going to go against that now.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to use that ever in a title. No, I just after thinking about it, I don't know if that's going to move titles on a streaming service, because I feel like this is a movie that was not in theaters. Maybe it was released on a physical format of some kind, but I feel like this is streaming, and I don't know if someone searching through Tubi or Shudder or whatever, Amazon Prime, if they're going to see The Story of a Cloistered Nun and be like, oh, that sounds interesting. I think they're going to do exactly what I did, which is say, what the fuck does cloistered mean? And then move on. So does Benedetta go with the 2021 film? Damn it. Because really, if I use that logic that I just established with streaming titles or whatever, the one that you would go with for streaming would be The Nun and the Devil, because it's right on Front Street of what it is. Okay, that sounds interesting. I'm going to click on that and go for it. Damn it! I hate when I do this. What was the C word again?
Cloistered.
Cloistered. The Story of a Cloistered Nun. Where the fuck does this go?
That one's really throwing you for a loop.
Because it doesn't fit any of these. Because I don't feel like it fits the nun that is from a powerful family that is willing to do anything. That doesn't seem cloistered at all, by definition. Motherfuck. Okay, so I'm going to go with Benedetta as the 1973 film that is based in 1570 at the convent of Angela or whatever it was, where Mother Superior dies and there is a power struggle, and one of the nuns at the convent, who is from a powerful family, is willing to do anything to become the head Armess or whatever it was. Abbess. That is Benedetta for now,
Okay.
until I'm wrong. The second 1973 film about the not accepting an arranged marriage, Carmela gets sent to a convent where a debauched nun and an evil mother superior, who are already at ends with each other, go even more at each other because of Carmela's beauty. That is going to be called...
That's not one of the titles.
Nope. That's going to be Sister Act. That's going to be called... that's going to be called... The story of a... what was it again? Conspicuous? No.
Cloistered.
Cloistered. That's the... God dang. The story of a cloistered nun.
Yep.
That one. Why? I don't know. I feel like that's wrong. Why? The answer is actually why, because I don't feel like it's 2021. Which leaves the 2021 film of a 17th century nun suffering from disturbing religious and sexual imagery, who then seeks help in a companion, and the two women end up falling for each other. I'm going to call that one The Nun and the Devil. And you're going to tell me that I got one right, and I got to figure out which one I got correct. So go ahead and tell me which one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Will sounds incredibly confident, as we can all hear. And this week, after the longest struggle to date...
I'm so sorry.
You can hear the perspiration on his forehead.
If you're drawing this out this much, I better get all three right.
He got one correct.
God damn it. Okay, I don't know which one I got correct. I really have no idea which one I got correct. I feel zero confidence in any of them. I mean, I only feel the slight little bit of confidence in the Nun and the Devil, just because it feels like a 2021 title. And because of that, I think I'm going to change it. I think I'm going to change it because that goes against my logic. Okay. So I'm still going to keep Benedetta where it's at. First 1973 film with the nun from a powerful family willing to do anything. Benedetta's staying where it's at. So I'm going to switch the other two. I'm going to say that The Nun and the Devil is the other 1973 film with Carmela, the debauched nun, and the evil Mother Superior. And then that leaves...
The debauched nun, for the record, is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
That leaves the 2021 film now as the story of a... wait, I'll get it. The story of a... No, I won't. What was it? What was the word again?
Cloistered.
Cloistered. Fucking Jesus. Okay.
CLOISTERED.
I was going to say conspicuous for some reason. The story of a cloistered nun is the 2021 film.
Yeah.
Final answer, just to get over with this.
Final answer, Will. Ripping off the Band-Aid, you got 0.
I don't fucking care. I'm just glad that in 2021 we didn't name a movie the story of a cloistered nun. I'm fine with that.
Yep. Okay, cloistered evidently is a 1973 word. So
it feels like it.
Starting from the top. The Nun and the Devil from 1973.
Really? So I was correct in guessing this plot?
You were. Yep. Okay. You just didn't ever put that title with it.
Nope, because I wanted to say I was wrong.
The Nun and the Devil, 1973, from director Domenico Paolella.
Okay.
This is an Italian film.
Felt like it.
So, the production got permission to shoot the scenes in a real convent in Italy. Because the religious people that were there were not told the plot.
Ooh, okay.
Precisely. The DP was a man named Giuseppe Rosolini, who would go on to shoot the 1980, I think 3 or 4 Stephen King adaptation Firestarter.
Okay. Is it Giuseppe?
Very possible.
Okay.
He also shot the Pasolini film Arabian Nights, previous to this film, he shot the Sergio Leone Western film Duck You Sucker, aka Fistful of Dynamite.
There you go. Yep.
The director, I'm sorry. The art director is a person named Claudio Cinini, who is listed as best known for, on IMDb, working on a film that was called Argo Man, the Fantastic Superman. And this was a film in which a superhero who is invincible loses all of their powers after they have sex with a woman.
Oh, wow. So,
that's Argo Man, the Fantastic Superman. Same art director. So good on you, Claudio Cinini. The Nun and the Devil, 1973. There you go.
There is a high likelihood that I actually did see this movie in that horror history class, because we did cover a big section of Italian nun horror films.
Well, I'll tell you, it could have been that one, or it could have been our second film, Story of a Cloistered Nun from 1973, from the same year and the same filmmaker, Domenico Paolella.
Did he make this back to back or at the same time?
It very well could be the same story from a different perspective.
Maybe
I wonder.
It was.
This film is not readily available on streaming platforms. However, there was a Severin Films Blu-ray release, so you can pick it up on Blu-ray. The film is shot by a man, Armando Nanuzzi, who would go on to shoot another, funny enough, by coincidence, Stephen King link. This guy would go on to be the DP on Maximum Overdrive.
Wow, okay.
And the sound was done by a man on this film named Mario Faroni, who would also work on Dario Argento's Deep Red, and he also did sound on Federico Fellini's masterpiece 8.5. So we got some big connections on this one. Story of a Cloistered Nun, 1973. And we're going to end up in 2021 with Benedetta from director Paul Verhoeven, whom many of us know as the director behind Total Recall, RoboCop, notable. Starship Troopers, Showgirls. This film stars Virginie Elfira and Charlotte Rampling. Virginie was also in Paul Verhoeven's previous film from 2016, Elle, with the wonderful, beautiful Isabelle Huppert. Love her. Production ended on Benedetta in 2018, and the film was initially scheduled for release at the Cannes Film Festival in 2019. However, in December of 2018, post-production in Amsterdam had to be delayed until June of 2019 to allow time for Paul Verhoeven to recover from surgery.
Okay.
He had to have surgery on his hips due to the landscape, the harsh landscape, lots of hills and rocks where they shot this film. Verhoeven's wife urged him to go to the hospital, and it turned out that he had his pain medication had caused an intestinal obstruction that ended in a life-threatening colon perforation.
Dang, sepsis, yeah.
Yes, and he luckily went to the hospital in time that he was able to get that taken care of. Verhoeven and producer Saeed Ben Saeed agreed to delay the release to 2020. And then, of course, in 2020, the pandemic struck, and so the film was once again pushed back until it finally was released 3 years after it was shot. It finally came out in 2021. The film's North American premiere was at the New York Film Festival, and it was protested by members of the American Society for the Defense of Tradition, Family, and Property. The protesters were accompanied with bagpipes and signs that said, quote, "Why the endless insults to Jesus?" And, quote, "We vehemently protest the blasphemous lesbian film Benedetta that insults the sanctity of Catholic nuns." In Russia, the movie was banned completely because of its perceived blasphemic content and promotion of homosexuality.
Wow, okay.
So it turns out Vladimir Putin, not a big fan of homosexuality, and glad he is best friends with our new president.
Yeah,
so,
sure, why not?
Those are our films that you have for today.
Okay, before we get into the ratings, I want to add a little note here. I did mention the whole backstory between you and I, and the title that I knew from film class, and the finding it in I Love Video Store. I just want to mention that is called Alucarda. I do believe I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but Alucarda, 1977. It was later released on video in the United States as Innocence from Hell, which is the title that we saw on I Love Video. It was also called Sisters of Satan in the United States as an alternate title. And it was from Mexico, a Mexican film, if I mentioned that or not.
That's right.
And it is about, after the death of her parents, a young girl arrives at a convent, which is why I thought maybe the second film was that. And whenever she arrives, she brings a sinister presence with her. Is it her imaginary friend, Alucarda, who is to blame, or is there a satanic force at work? So there were some things about this film, which is why I mentioned it earlier on, that reminded me of The Devil and the Nun and the Devil, correct? I do believe that was, yeah. No, sorry, it was the second film. The story of a cloistered nun, yes. So yeah, I just wanted to get that in there. Alucarda, Alucarda, or Innocence from Hell on video in US.
There you go. Now we have it forever cemented in audio on the internet.
Yes. I actually had to go back in time and look at the photo that I took. I actually looked it up just to see if maybe the directors were shared, but I misremembered that it wasn't Italian. It was a Mexican film.
Yeah, I also thought it was Italian.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you think about the star rankings on these films? What's the spread looking like?
I mean, the 2021 film seems to have somewhat of a pedigree, at least in the filmmaker. The other two films, I have no idea. They're both Italian. They're both from the same filmmaker, and they're possibly the same story. And they came out the same year, and they're both all three of these are about nuns and about certain sins, I'll say. I will say that the spread on these is going to be from, I'll say low 6, like 6.2, 6.3, which that might actually be really high. All the way down to 4.
Okay.
And man, I'm just gonna, I didn't feel like whenever you first gave me the synopsis, I didn't feel like the 2021 film was going to be great at all. I figured it was going to be like a really just shitty movie that was just like made for video type thing, with like a, F-list, filmmakers and cast, and just again, nothing against those types of films. They're entertaining and they're fun in their own way. But that's what I was thinking in the beginning. But now that you've given me all this information about it, I might do a 180 on this. So I might put Benedetta at the top of the list.
Okay. But
where do I put the devil, or the Nun and the Devil, and the story of a cloistered nun? I don't know. The titles alone make me feel like the Nun and the Devil is higher. Again, cloistered nun. And did you say, and I didn't hear, or did you not say, is that the original Italian title? Do you know?
Story of a Cloistered Nun?
Yes.
It is not. This Storia di una monaca di clausura. So I think it is a direct translation.
Okay. Okay, maybe it is. But again, maybe like in the original tongue, that has there's more of a connection that can be made to the audience. I feel like the English of that, and it could just be my ignorance to the word cloistered, but it doesn't feel like it has that much of a connection. So, but does that make this a worse film? I also don't know. Did you say which one of these was actually done first, or do we even know that?
I did not. I did not look them up.
Okay, I just feel it feels like the Nun and the Devil is a slightly more interesting story. You have a nun from a powerful family that is power hungry and is willing to do anything and seemingly actually working with the devil. Like, that just seems really more compelling than two nuns bickering at each other because there's a pretty girl in the mix now. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to just stick with the Nun and the... how about this? I'll say this. I'm going to put the Nun and the Devil, as I have it currently ranked, in second place, and I'll put The Story of a Cloistered Nun in third place. But what I'm really saying is no matter what the order, I'm saying that the Nun and the Devil is going to be ahead of The Story of a Cloistered Nun.
Okay.
No matter what order I got right or wrong, I still think that those two fall in that order.
Okay.
So really, I'm saying I don't know where Benedetta goes. I'm going to put it first, but it could be somewhere else.
Okay. Starting from the top, Benedetta with a 6.7 out of 10.
Oh, okay. I was actually under on that range.
From 26,526 ratings.
Wow.
The second place film today, from a 5.5 out of 10, is Story of a Cloistered Nun.
God damn it.
With 494 ratings.
Really?
And last place is The Nun and the Devil with barely under it, just a 5.3 out of 10 from 610 ratings.
Okay. So I went too far on my range, and I really thought that The Nun and the Devil just had a more compelling story and title, really. Wow. So they... I still am really kind of curious of which one of these stories was actually first birthed.
It's impossible to know.
Yeah, and is the release? Did they release respectively to their initial idea, or were they both thought of at the same time and they just split that? Hey, let's make two movies out of this. Or even maybe they're not even supposed to be related at all, and then the director and filmmakers are just not creative.
They could not stop thinking about nuns that year.
No, evil nuns and sin and old covens. Yeah,
can't get none.
Can't get none. God, is that the title of this episode? Okay.
Well, we can go into a tag me. Woo! Tag me. So this is a segment where I go to the plot details section on IMDb,
yes,
where there's a whole bunch of words and phrases that might have something to do with the films, maybe not, but they're basically tags, and you can click them and see other movies that have the same tags.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, so starting off with The Nun and the Devil, we have female pubic hair.
Okay.
Yep. We have...
Do you think that belongs to the nun or the devil?
Probably... I'm going to go with the nun.
Okay,
but
safe.
I'll acknowledge that I could be wrong.
Okay.
Poisoned to death.
Ooh. Willing to do anything.
Mistaken for being gay.
Again, does that go with the nun or the devil?
Yeah, that's a great question.
That's
Man touches a woman's hips.
Mistaken for being... Wait, well, sorry, say that again?
Man touches a woman's hips.
Okay, I thought you said nips.
Nope.
Oh, that's an interesting tag.
Climbing down knotted sheets.
Oh, okay, like out of a window or whatever. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
And how about we end on allusion to Native American genocide?
Really? In a 1973 Italian film?
Yeah, evidently.
In
this 1570s.
That's intriguing. Well, yeah. But it could just be like the filmmaker just setting the story back in time. But still, I mean, you said Native American?
Yep.
That's intriguing. Why? Okay, I'm now curious to watch The Nun and the Devil.
Well, let's see if you're going to be curious to watch Story of a Cloistered Nun as well.
Nope, just on the title alone. No, I'm never going to watch this.
Where we have you're going to have more female pubic hair.
Of course, seems like that's the MO of this filmmaker. you've got Tarantino in his feet, and you've got this guy in a bush.
This one honestly does not have anything very interesting on it. It has degradation.
Sure.
Abyss is one of them. So there's that one. We can go ahead and just breeze right past that and go to Benedetta, where we are going to have bubonic plague.
Ooh, okay.
We're going to have woman masturbates in front of a woman.
Okay.
Using dildo during lesbian sex.
In the 17th century, interesting.
Yes, one of the things that I read about it was that there was, I don't remember if it was or if it almost was banned in certain places, not just for the lesbian portion of it, but also a character evidently uses a statue of Maria to masturbate with.
Well, I was actually going to ask, I was going to ask...
The movie is also based on a true story.
I was going to ask jokingly if she was masturbating with the crucifix, but
yes,
a statue of Maria,
almost
a holy symbol, still is interesting. I wonder if that film board or whoever it was that nearly banned that movie, I wonder if they would have cared if it was a different religious statue or not.
Excellent question. We have plunging hand into boiling water.
Ooh.
Lesbian breast kissing. There we go. All right. Well, those are the tags for today. We can go on into
quote time.
This is where I go to the quote section and I pull a quote from one of these movies as written on IMDb. So who knows if it's actually said or if it's written correctly. So this week, how are you wanting me to deliver this line?
I want to keep this simple.
Will gives me direction on these now.
I'm going to try to guess. Well, not even guess. I'm just going to try to shot in the dark one of the potential characters from one of these films that we know about, and have Thomas give me the line in that character. Is it just one character, correct?
One character, one line. Okay,
so I'm going to try to pick a character, and hopefully I get the character right, or hopefully it just helps me. So I would like you to deliver this as an evil mother superior.
Okay.
Simple as that. No other context. Just evil mother superior.
Okay. And as written on IMDb, it reads as follows. And the Lord pardon us for the pain we have inflicted in the church's name.
Interesting. I kind of like that as you delivered it. Bravo.
Thanks.
Okay, say it again in just your more normal voice. I know that was pretty close to what you actually sound like, but just give me a more normal tone.
My more normal voice. The quote is as follows.
Your non-morning voice, as that was.
As follows. And the Lord pardon us for the pain we have inflicted in the church's name. Man,
I don't want to feel confident, but I feel like I maybe had nailed this one. Say it one more time.
One more time.
Thank you. So I think... go ahead.
And the Lord pardon us for the pain we have inflicted in the church's name.
And the Lord pardon us for the pain we have inflicted in the church's name. I mean, this really could be any of them. Clearly, it probably isn't the one I'm going with, but I just love how you delivered that for some reason. Thanks. So I'm going to say this is the story of a cloistered nun.
Okay. And I'm going to say you're wrong.
Okay, that's fine.
It is delivered by a character named Alfonso Carrefo, played by Luke Miranda in The Nun and the Devil.
Dang. Okay. Well, I mean, I liked how you delivered. That was a really good performance. That was great. Okay, where are we at now?
This is now is where we do a creative.
I totally forgot what we were doing next. Sorry. Okay. So you haven't seen any of these films?
I have not. Benedetta has been on my watch list since 2021. Have not seen any of them though.
So the first film, The Nun and the Devil,
Yeah.
Mentions that she's willing to do anything. In the tags, we had poisoned, I do believe.
Yeah.
Are we going to say...
Poisoned to death.
Yeah, poisoned to death specifically.
That... I'm going to, off the bat, guess that the Mother Superior, after the death of the Mother Superior, I'm going to guess she was poisoned to death.
Okay, well, there goes that. Thing that road I was going down. Okay, never mind. Okay. I guess what I was kind of getting at was, what is the? Because I hypothesized earlier that she's willing to work with the devil, this nun, to gain power. I do like what you're saying, that maybe the Mother Superior didn't just die of old age, that maybe there was something that was done to her to initiate this. Because I was assuming originally that she just died of old age and then there was a power struggle, yada, yada. But you're kind of saying that maybe there was some motivation behind...
Yeah, this nun whom we're assuming is in cahoots with the devil himself. Mm-hmm. She poisoned the Mother Superior. But she still hasn't became the what was it? Abbess.
Abbess.
That's correct.
And it sounds like she's willing to do anything to become the abbess. Correct. That's what kind of how the synopsis reads. So what is the thing? Like let's predict the rising climax of this movie. What is the thing this nun from a powerful family who is willing to do anything and who maybe is working with the devil, what is the thing that causes her to rise to the level of abbess?
She dips her opponent into a bathtub full of blood and confesses that she was in fact the one whom poisoned the Mother Superior. And then post bloodbath dipping, our powerful family antagonist, yet also protagonist at the same time, ends up brutally murdering their opponent.
Oh gosh!
And Satan like steps out from behind her back and is just like, good, now end her. And then she does.
So at what point in time did Satan, because you mentioned that maybe Satan like convinced her to poison the Mother Superior, but at what point in time was Satan behind all of these decisions as far as dipping her opponents or her inferiors in blood, or however you worded that, and then the whole confessing? Like how much of this was on Satan just telling her to do it, and how much of this was on her just doing it on uninstructed?
So we don't know until the second act that she made this pact with the devil 2 years prior. Oh, okay. Because she wanted to be...
This has been brewing for a while.
In power in the church for so long. Mm-hmm. And so around the halfway mark, we see the flashback where she makes that deal. And then from that point on, we get these shots where it's Satan that like whispers into her ear to do stuff or whatever.
And Satan, we're going with the idea that Satan just gets her soul, or what else could Satan get from this?
Yeah, he gets to. She will take over the church, and Satan's. She'll implement Satan's book into the church.
Okay, yeah,
she'll integrate his ideals.
So he needs someone who will do his bidding, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're saying that to become this abbess, all she has to do is dip everyone in blood and then confess that she killed Mother Superior?
Well, no, just this one person, and then she kills her because that's the only person that she was in this power struggle with. All the other nuns were like, I don't want none of that.
I don't want none of that. Okay, but my question, so yeah, that's kind of where I was going though, is that what do the other nuns do whenever this takes place? Do they just willingly follow this new person? Because do these other nuns in this convent, do they see this take place? Like how do they know that the nun in question is now the abbess, or did something to become this, whatever the abbess is?
they just come in the next day, and she's like, I'm in charge now. I'm like, all right.
I'm now the abbot. Okay,
It's that simple. I don't know how they do it in the churches as far as that goes.
I guess the ultimate question is were these other nuns witness to this stuff, or was it just the nun in question and then the one person she had to overthrow?
Yeah, wouldn't it be fucked up if they were witness? Yeah,
I think it would be.
They're all sitting there, also like chanting or like singing hymns or something.
Yeah, but so are they aware of the devil component, or are they just thinking that the nun in question is just so driven by God
she'll dip this woman
that she's convinced them
blood from an unknown source and then stab her to death?
I mean, it'd be kind of badass, wouldn't it? If the other nuns are so devoted that they don't even question it, they're just like, this must be what God wants.
Yeah, and then so like as she's stabbing this other woman, all the other nuns in the background that are like chanting hymns open like their shirts with their breasts, and they like fondle themselves in the background as they continue their hymns.
Okay, I like this. I mean, not just for like the breast part, but that's just creepy. That's just really fucking weird. Okay, fine. I'm fine with all this. I love this. But how did we get to this point? How did the nuns, the other nuns, how did they get to the point of just willingly giving themselves over to whatever happens? Because I do like that, but I feel like there's obviously teachings and there's traditions in these things, and this clearly, at least hopefully, is not a tradition that that is being followed through with. So I feel like there might be at least some worry, if not some pushback. So if we're saying that there's no worry and we're saying that there's no pushback, how did we get to this spot?
Well, I think what seems somewhat like a cop-out of an answer, I think.
That's fine.
Potentially, is that she sort of, over the course of however long, sort of grooms and convinces the other nuns to kind of be on her side during the whole thing.
You
so,
did
like,
say that this was like a 2-year process.
And so her opponent... The other nuns are actually the ones that they all grabbed her and they took her into that room, wherein the tub full of blood from an unknown source.
From Mother Superior. I think it has to be from Mother Superior, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And so like above the tub full of blood, Mother Superior is hanging by her ankles above it with like her throat slit open, and they just like bled her out into it. Yeah. And so her bloodless body is just dangling above it.
Insane, right? And then like they're all just sitting there like you said, like praying out loud or saying hymns or whatever, and it's just like that whole image.
Or even more so, they put this opponent woman, whom we have not named, into the tub, and the other nuns, a group of the other nuns, are holding like one limb each, and they're holding her in the tub. And so it's empty. Our main character, who made the deal with the devil, has the Mother Superior hanging above the tub upside down, like I had said, and she actually slits her throat and drains the blood onto her in the tub.
Okay, I'm gonna give this an idea, doctor a little bit, and see if this is better or worse. What if it is the opponent, as you're calling it, the one opponent to this whole process? What if she is the one that is lifted above the tub by the following the follower nuns? It's the nun in question who made the deal with the devil who's in the tub.
Gotcha.
And it has to bathe. She's now bathing in her opponent's blood.
Yeah, that's fine.
To kind of complete the ritual, or complete whatever, right? The action of following it. Maybe I don't know if that's better or worse. I don't know.
And there's a part she like has her head dangling over the edge of the tub and like upside down, like with her head upside down as it's like slung over the edge of the tub. she like sees, and we go to this upside down shot from her POV of Satan standing there.
No, sorry. I thought you were going to go that we go with her POV, and she's looking back at the cross behind her, and now the cross is upside down because it's her POV.
Yeah, that works too. And I was gonna just say, make it dumb, and I was just gonna say that Satan was standing there rubbing his hands, going, "Good."
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so one final thing that we have to solve, or that I need solved here. Why is there only one opponent, or whatever we're classifying this person as, and why is this person against what is happening whenever all the other ones are seemingly following?
Great question.
Thank you. Okay, what was that cover? we just end on
listeners, write in and let us know your answer.
We just end on an actual plot hole. So, what is the one thing that's preventing this person from being a follower? Was she supposed to be in line for this?
Sure. Yeah, that's a
Abbas?
Yes. That'll work.
And
she was maybe what if she is actually the daughter of the Mother Superior?
I don't think that works because I don't think nuns have children.
Oh, I guess so. What if she is the
niece? No, I don't think that we have to attach it that way, because I think that their whole idea of being nuns is they're already so bonded for one idea. I don't think we have to make it a blood bond. I just think it works that this one individual has worked diligently with all the teachings that she was following from Mother Superior. That she was basically, I mean, Mother Superior, let's assume, was of an age where she would be Mother Superior no more, sooner rather than later anyway. And someone needs to take that position. And I think, again, assuming that a fucking abbess is even Mother... I don't even know.
Nominate Margaret.
Right, so let's say that Margaret was just... Well, I don't even know if Mother Superior necessarily made that decision yet. Maybe she did. I don't necessarily mind that. I'm just saying that, like, Margaret...
God did.
Right.
Did.
But no, I'm just saying that this Margaret, as we've now termed her, that she just assumed, because she was so dedicated to it all and put everything into it and was right at Mother Superior's footsteps the whole way, she just assumed that she was going to be the next Mother Superior. And then this other chick comes in from her powerful family and, takes over. So maybe that's why Margaret, as we're calling her, didn't fall in line as easily as the other nuns did. Okay. I like this. I like this a lot. It's weird. I do like that last shot of her head being in the tub and blood pouring down from Margaret.
In the cross POV. Yeah.
And then we see, because I even like the idea of, like, she's laying there, blood is just filling up the tub. We just hear chanting. We see a smile come across her face. Of course, she's nude in the tub as blood's raining down, which I think has been in multiple films. Even the idea of a body hanging above, dropping
Hostel
down.
Part 2.
Thank you. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. And but we're in sort of a wide shot of that, and then the final shot is we see her smiling. We're kind of slowly zooming in on her face, and then as her head starts to tilt back, we go to that POV. So we see Margaret hanging there, and then we see the cross upside down. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, I just want to see that. I don't know if we can make that, and that's not necessarily funny, but that just sounds awesome. I like that a lot. Visually. So what are we going to title our movie if we do that? Because it can't just be the Nun and the Devil.
Yeah, and it's not going to be Ain't Getting None.
It has to be already taken.
None Too Sure.
I like that, actually. Because Margaret thought she was sure that she was gonna get the role of Mother Superior. That's so dumb, but I like it. None too sure. That's so dumb. Okay, fine, we'll end there. What was that called again? None Too Sure. I mean, clearly it's just still called the Nun and the Devil, but I mean, we had to end on something else. None Too Sure. I like the idea of having this very dark, very serious nun horror film, demonic possession or demonic whatever horror film. Like, you know, again, very dark, very straight, and then we title it something fucking ridiculous like None Too Sure. People would be pissed. People would be.
There's nothing funny in this movie at all.
People would be like, "That was a great movie visually. The story was very compelling. It was very dark and visceral. But the fucking title makes it a 2-star movie because I was expecting puns the whole time."
Yeah, this movie did not get the Academy Award nominations because of the title.
I got nightmares from this movie, and I was expecting to laugh. It's just the marketing is just completely wrong for it on purpose. Like what would the tagline of None Too Sure be? You can't use a double nun pun. You can't do that.
2 nuns, 1 tub.
God. No, that's the title right there. 2 nuns, 1 tub. There we go. That's actually the title. And then the tagline is she thought she had it. ... None too sure.
Yeah.
And then we
got there.
Play the whole thing straight and dark. Fucking even so, we're idiots. Okay.